What is up, guys? Yeah, not the worst here, bringing another Black Desert Online video, and today we're looking at the developer notes that were released with alongside the patch notes earlier this week, talking about PvP updates and PvE updates separately here. So before I jump into this, because the last time I did a style of video, I don't think everyone actually got what I was doing here. So I'm going to just kind of skim through here, touch on a few of the points, give my thoughts about a few things on it, and then I want to hear like what you guys say. If you're allowed to disagree with me, because a lot of this, as you're going to see, is really nondescript. So it's going to be really open to interpretation, which is probably part of what they wanted. So you guys tell me what you think in the comments instead of your opinion is wrong, which sounds defensive to start the video that way. But the last time I did this video doing it this type, I think people just kind of missed what the point of the video was. More of a discussion really than just a this is how it is because I said so. All right, so anyways, we'll start off with the PvP changes, and I'm not going to just read these verbatim here. Just kind of go through them if you do want to read. They're pretty short, couple paragraphs each one. They'll be in the description below. If you want to check it out there, just click on the links. So first they talk about player killing and karma in the desert. Essentially, they kind of cover how their initial idea was an outlaw content, not that they fully expand into what that was supposed to be at the time. Which was supposed to kind of tie in along with the desert trading system, so there were outlaws within the desert trading system, and they ended up only releasing pieces of it, basically, or they say that we excluded much of the outlaw content and opened up the system with only features we believed that are necessary. After the release of Valencia, we continue to receive feedback demanding the outlaw content, and then they're looking to continue to go down this direction, but in a way that is not for prepared adventurers to grief those who are not prepared, but more so that in a way everybody can kind of get at it, I suppose, or at least that's what they say. Again, it's kind of vague what they're actually saying here. They do note that they're thinking of, well, they actually think of improvements to prevent issues such as karma bombing, which take advantage of the current system's weakness. And then as far as deadly combat as a sport, they're, again, nondescript, but talking about we're thinking about or considering implementing 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3, etc. matches, and considering implementing a ranking system. If this really happens, we'll focus on making sure that the rewards are not the sole goal and purpose of this system. Instead, we'll focus on making the system a fair competitive system with emphasis on making honor and fame the main goal of the adventures. I can see that being a good idea if you want to continue to appeal to newer players and balancing things properly, although a ranking system will help implement that. If you made like the payouts or rewards for it, I guess, super amazing, then, you know, I guess you would just kind of live in that content. However, the fact that this content doesn't exist in BDO already is kind of perplexing to me, and that they're like talking about considering implementing that sort of thing when it doesn't seem too complex to actually do is a little bit bizarre, and I'm going to continue that when we flip over to PvE, and I'll explain why. So first, I get asked, the developers have any plans to expand immersive type content? I'll admit I don't know exactly what they mean here. They comment this is why they released the main questline renewals for Calpheon and Medea to be more immersive type content. I don't understand what they're talking about. Possibly storyline related things. Is that why the renewal for Calpheon and Medea existed, or that sort of thing? I'm not entirely sure, but they want to continue to make the Black Desert Online world immersive place for users. So they note that, and then we just kind of spin off of that topic entirely instead of like giving some insight or actually answering, and they then want to talk about the Shai character. Released a few months ago, there was a reason why we made the Shai character a special character unlike other characters. They're not going to know what that specific reason was other than giving players a different way to play the game. So there's that, a different way to play the game. I guess life skilling through it, or I don't know, disengaging PvP entirely. Was that the intent? They don't exactly say. We noticed that many users are playing the Shai character. This is true because you gave out some crazy good rewards when they made the statement that Shai was like the most played new character on release of all time, but that's because they gave out literal 500 million silver for hitting level 58. So of course everyone rolled Shai to level to at least 58, and if you get one to 60, you get like a 60 advice of Valk. So I mean, that's not shocking when you give incentives that good. So then they say, though it's difficult to share details at this point, we also plan on adding new social contents which focus on the Shai character. Of course, other characters can also enjoy the new content as well. While this isn't our highest priority at the moment, since it's not the type of content the majority of users would welcome, we plan on developing these types of content to provide a more variety of experiences in the game. So here's my comment, and this is where you guys might come at me in the comments for a second here. I don't understand this. If you're aware that the majority of your users are not going to welcome that, what you know that majority of users are going to welcome this. Why not having arena or say like capture the flag type things, or expanding RBF into other options like a capture the flag arena, or if anybody's played SWOTOR, like Hutball's an incredible PvP oriented game. You know that users have wanted that for a very long time. We've been asking for that since the launch of the game, at least since I've been playing with it. It definitely felt lacking in that. So it's just a weird thing for me, like, hey, we're going to expand this new social thing that focuses on Shai. It's not our highest priority, but we're going to do it, even though we know that the majority of users wouldn't welcome it. It's not what they want. So that's a little weird to me. As far as guild, this is just a straight positive. Here they're just talking about expanding guild PvE content and not making it only PvP based stuff. And then as far as dungeons, because this does get asked from time to time about instance dungeons, they just mentioned that, you know, we did Altar of Blood as an instance dungeon, and we're just trying to be careful how we add it, these types of things to it, because we want to continue to maintain the Black Desert Online style, if you will, and we're going to be very careful continuing what kind of dungeon content we'll be adding anytime soon. We're always open to providing new experience for users, and we'll try to make these type of new experiences something that makes Black Desert more fun for the players. This one just felt kind of a sidestep, like, yeah, we're not against doing it in general, but we don't necessarily have anything planned. We didn't get really anything PvP concrete here. It was actually so here's my overall takeaway from this, and again, you know, you guys let me know what you think in the comments, but this felt kind of really vague. I mean, mentioning this, and they're just like considering implementing such a thing, but like not actively working on it. There was no mention of like, oh, we're currently working on something that we can't tell you more information about, you know, for the entirety of PvP, be it the desert or, you know, whatever. The only thing we get out of any of it is in the PvE mention, is that we are currently working on this Shai character thing, and then also the PvE guild content they are actually working on as well. So if these were direct questions asked, I just felt like we got a little bit sidestepped here, and I just really have a hard time understanding why you're going to invest time and resources on something that you know the majority of your users are not going to welcome, when you literally mention something that has been asked for over and over and over again, and is possibly one of the largest things that BDO is lacking in general, is an entire competitive scene for PvP. I could be wrong in that maybe I'm wrong and most players don't want that, but to me, in any MMO, the point to gaining gear and doing this sorts of things is to have more competitive PvP, and not just like heading to, you know, Velia server battle arena and just sitting there and dueling people, you know, for 5 hours a day and then calling it a day and doing nothing, or hitting up RBF for 20 mil every once in a while or whatever. But that's just me, I guess. Maybe it's not the way. So anyways, there's that video. If you guys want to check this out, the links to these are in the description down below, so you can head on over there. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know what you guys think about this stuff. Did you already read this? What are you thinking? Is there maybe a look or a way that I'm not looking at this that I'm missing? What do you think? Just tell me in the comments below there. And that's going to be it for this one. And thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.